You're watching Pyro Media Network.
I can't let them take my soul. Nah, nah, no. Oh, I can't let them take my soul. Nah, no. See, we was cool right before it hit the fence. But it hit the fan when I got him down at the bench. But I took a break, I had to leave and go get cleansed. God forgive me for all my sins. I can't say these cause my last name ain't Kent. Cooking on the stove, that's the way he paid the rent. Working on the pole, that's the way she paid tuition. Better watch your soul, cause you know they trying to get it. Yeah. I learned my right from wrong on a song. I let my heart bleed on my sleeve through microphones. I'm trying to right my wrongs by writing out my wrongs. Ran through a check, cause it's hard to live off bread alone. So if you see me slipping, yeah, let me know. Cause it ain't the end of times yet. I know, but it's getting
Hello,
close.
Pyro
Yeah, I need my
Media
space to
family.
breathe. That's why I
Thank
be
you for
going
tuning
ghost.
in.
I ain't
If
trying to
this
stay
is
up
your
on that
first
wire,
time
cause I can't let
joining
them take my
us,
soul.
welcome. We hope your experience with us is fruitful. While we are loading your experience, please do us a quick favor and hit that like button from whichever platform you're watching or listening on. And we do hope you consider hitting that subscribe or follow button so you can check out more of our amazing content. All right, let's start the show.
And you better talk to me nicely. Next to blow, little bitch, I might be. Oh, can't forget all the days they overpriced me. So now that we up, don't get advice from no. Talk to me nicely. I know that they hit it, we getting icy. Whoa, can't forget all the moments they overpriced me. So now that we up, don't get advice from no. We on top, flipping the bird, they going sick. But I'ma make them eat every.
Hey, everybody. It is I, Giselle, and we are back with another episode of I Have Thoughts. Okay, y'all. So let me tell y'all something. We gonna get right into it because I know y'all have heard it. Some of y'all care, some of y'all don't care. But Megan has a new song. Okay, Megan got a new song. All right. And as a girl who is the same height as Megan, I am biased to anything that she does, unless it's just straight trash or garbage. But it is very rare that I feel like Megan Thee Stallion drops anything that is garbage. Okay. I genuinely love this girl. I think that she is the hood Cinderella story that everybody painted Cardi B out to be. But because she's not light-skinned and or exotic, people don't give her the credit that they give Cardi B. But that's a whole different video for a whole different day for a whole different audience of people, maybe. Because some of y'all ain't gonna be ready to tell that type of truth. But I'm just saying. No tea, no shade to Cardi. Love Cardi down. Absolutely do. I'm rooting for Cardi. I do believe that her Cinderella story is worth it, but I believe that the Cinderella story of the girl who lost her mama and her grandma in the same motherfucking year, got all of this extra stuff going on, beat the odds, became the Black Madonna in the space of, sexual empowerment, all of these different things. I believe that Megan deserves a little bit more motherfucking respect, but much like Lil' Kim, she probably will not get it until later on down the line because she's a 5'10" full figure, full body Black woman who talks about her pussy avidly and does not care. And my thing is, we're not going to revere her as a true pioneer in this until she's too old to still be wearing them same outfits. And we're still going to show up to the concerts, but then we're going to judge her for it like we do, again, Lil' Kim. And some of you might be saying, well, Nicki is not the most light-skinned bitch in the world. She's not. But at the same time, she's just light-skinned enough to be all of the things. And then also she has the exotic look to her, okay? Megan is Black on top of Black on top of Black, and she look Black. And then on top of that, she is a full-figured 5'10" Black woman. And so, like I said, another video for another day, but that's just my opinion. That's my opinion. God damn it. Okay. With that being said, let's talk about this single, baby. Let's talk about this single. Because when I say like this single, like I was like when I don't know if I've met another queen of the diss record until I met Megan Thee Stallion. I'm from Miami, so I've known, female rap beef between Trina and Jackie O, between Jackie O and Kaya, between Kaya and Trina, between Kaya, Jackie O, and Trina. It got so bad that the three of those bitches had a fucking diss mixtape together. I've never seen three bitches have a diss mixtape against each other together, and every song was fire. You could have, like, I had a fave, right? Like Trina was my fave, okay? but there was not a single song on that mixtape that did not slap. I'm just saying. Everybody was able to get their shots in. It was a vibe. And I say all of that to say that Megan has had a lot to say, okay? Megan has let people slide, glide, and play on her time for the last, I don't know how many years. And I think that Miss P is done with it. Megan said, I'm tired of you hoes, sliding and gliding in my face, and I'm letting y'all do it because I'm genuinely a nice girl. I don't want to go there with y'all. I don't want to have beef with nobody. I just want to smile and laugh and shake my ass and make my fans happy and make a little money to make my grandma and my mama happy. I'm not trying to get into this industry shit with y'all. I just want to be Megan. You know what I'm saying? I get that vibe and I get that genuinely from her. I don't believe that Megan is one of those girls that's completely lost to the fame or that she's like reveling in this idea that she's that bitch. Like even in her music, she talks about being that bitch casually. It's not something that I feel like she boasts about like a lot of these other female rappers who are definitely not that bitch be talking about. You know what I'm saying? And there's something beautiful about the way that she's able to like balance her shit talking with being humble. And now that she's gotten to a point where I think that she's realizing the industry don't give a fuck about you being humble or being a nice girl and you got to come out swinging on these hoes, I think that Megan is really pushing the envelope. Now, Hiss is a diss record to a couple of different motherfucking people, and shots were fired and strays were caught and everything else up under the sun. But when I tell you Tory, Onika, Drake, and who else caught a stray up in there? Somebody else caught a stray. I can't remember the name, but those three, they definitely caught one, okay? You got Tory, Onika, you got Drake, and that the girl who supposedly like exposed everything or was trying to get clout from Megan, whose name shall not even be mentioned because one, I don't remember it, and two, she's not. Oh, Kelsey. I think that's the little bitch name is Kelsey, her old best friend or whatever the case may be. So Megan drops this fire ass heat, and she essentially is responding to all of the bullshit. She takes some time to like really say what she should have said to Tory, even though she's made another like EP album ish that like addressed Tory a little bit. Like I think that this was the first time that she ever really went balls to the wall on him the way that she should have been doing this entire time, in my particular opinion. But I understand that there are things that I don't know. There's parts of the story that I don't understand. There's nuance that I won't get. Maybe lawyers had a reason for her not to say certain things. Maybe she had her own reasons for not saying certain things at a certain time. Who knows? But that's just my opinion. Tory caught it. Drake caught it with his BBL and his etched abs that we all know that he paid for. I don't understand how something can be a dig when it's true, right? Like, I can understand you being upset because maybe other people didn't notice it just yet. But if it's true, like y'all be telling the transgenders, right? Right? When like y'all be telling y'all love to tell the transgenders, right? That if it's not a slur, or if it's not violence, if it's true, right? You were born a man. It's true. So why you upset? He got them abs edged. It's true, girl. Why you upset? Why you in your feels? Huh? Aubrey? Why you in your feelings? Because you thought you put enough bio cream and bio oil on them scars that we wouldn't go see them? Girl, bye. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. Okay, Miss Aubrey. And when it comes down to Onika, let me tell you something. I'm going to tell y'all this once and for all. I like Nicki, but Nicki has been problematic for years, okay? And I'm getting ready to get into what really ended up happening last night after Nicki was able to hear Megan's song, okay? But let me just talk a little bit about Nicki and the reason why I think that I'm over Nicki socially. If it's not about the tracks, if it's not about the music, if it's not about the awards or the dresses or the gowns or the way she showed up somewhere, I don't care to be bothered with Nicki anymore as a human being. I think that she's atrocious. I think that Nicki is a big ass bully. I think that she's a horrible person. I think her attitude is disgusting. And those are just my feelings. I'm a Barb by music and by music only. When it comes down to defending this lady, defending her actions, defending her nasty ass attitude towards people, defending the things that she says, I could care less. Are you gonna catch me in the comments when she slays a look? Absolutely. Are you gonna hear me singing Itty Bitty Piggy to the top of my lungs? Absolutely. Am I gonna pay to go to the concert? No. Will I be there? I don't know. But bitch buy me a ticket, I'm going, but I ain't paying for it. Right? You know what I'm saying? So I think that there are just certain things that I have understood, or I realized that like I no longer want to support people who I believe are genuinely bullies. And I don't believe that Nicki is just one of those misunderstood mean girls who has to like set the record straight. I genuinely believe at this point in her career, Nicki is a bully. I believe that she's a little jaded. I think that she's starting to see that same silver lining that Lil' Kim started to see when Kim was doing it to her. And instead of you taking a different route, you're taking the exact same route. And I think that for a long time, it was okay because you hadn't met your match. But Megan is a fucking lyricist, okay? Megan is a goddamn beast with that pen. And Nicki, if you gonna try to bully this one, girl, you gonna have to get in the stew. You have to call Safari back because that's the type of heat you have to bring to deal with Miss P. Okay, like there's no way you're about to single her or EP real quick her to death the way that you did a lot of these other girls, including Lil' Kim. And I really feel like that's because Lil' Kim has like really moved to a different point in her career where she's not really thinking about writing new songs. She's not really sharpening her tool that way. It's not to say that she's still not one of the greatest rapsters to ever fucking hit the scene, but it is to say that I think that you got lucky. Right? You got lucky because Lil' Kim had passed the prime of her writing days and like really performing shit and coming up with shit. So I feel like you got lucky in that rap beef because Kim was older and you were dealing with a lot of a fan base that was older. I mean, that was younger, right? We were all riding with you because a lot of us knew Kim, but we didn't have that attachment to her legacy the way that our aunties and our mamas and them did, right? And so I do feel like if we really think about that, that was a win by default. Now, it's not to say that Roman's Revenge and Stupid Hoe and all those songs were not a bop and a vibe and that you did slay Kim. But it is to say, I wonder what it would have been like to see Nicki and Kim go at it when Kim was at her prime and not when Kim was in a space where she was like, bitch, I got bigger fish to fry. I got a baby. I got an actual man who has not committed any motherfucking crimes against children out here in these streets. And I just want to be able to do and be and maneuver in my own shit. But I think when it comes to Megan, you've met your match, bitch. You met your match. So this is going to be an interesting one in the studio. Now, for those of you all who don't know like what's going on, apparently this beef started because Nicki shaded something that Megan did a couple of years back. And I want to believe it was probably because of the collaboration that she did initially with Cardi on WAP. Now, let me tell you something. Megan has never really been a clout chaser per se, the way that Nicki wants to make it seem. So if y'all look at this little GIF right here that's popping up on the screen, what you'll see is that basically we got an opportunity to watch a video take place after Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion went live on Instagram, right? Y'all remember it, "Don't run from me, friend." It's literally in the song, okay? And so it's one of those things where Megan and Nicki started off having a really good relationship from what we were all able to see and kind of pinpoint. They gave us this fire ass video for Hot Girl Summer. It was really a vibe. It was all of these different things. And I really truly enjoyed the way that they came together because I feel like honestly, for once, lyrically, Nicki did not dominate a song that she was meant to go on and be a feature. That was a song that everybody held their own on, and she could not deny that Megan ate the parts that Megan did. So it was not a thing where it was like in most cases when Nicki is on a song, we all skip to her part or we kind of cut her parts out and we leave that part. This was a song where you listen to it from the beginning to the end because both artists were ripping shit up, okay? And it was a cute little Hot Girl Summer anthem. It was a whole vibe. As we saw, they both did a little red hair, little neon zebra moment. They were in love, okay? They were friends. They was doing all of this stuff. And so to me, what I feel is that Nicki somehow felt like that was, Megan's way of saying, I'm with you, okay? That was Megan's way of being like, girl, in this beef between you and Cardi, I got you over the Cardi every day, all day, and twice on Sundays. Now, mind you, we don't know what was said behind scenes. We don't know what conversations Nicki and Megan had via text message, that were real quiet. Maybe Megan was fake. I don't know her. I love her. But I don't know Megan like that. Maybe she a fake bitch. Maybe she sat up there and talked shit about Cardi for 2 hours with Nicki. Who knows, right? But at the end of the day, I think that there's a difference between somebody who is chasing clout and somebody who is doing what they need to do for their career, right? So if Nicki Minaj wants to do a feature with me and I'm an artist who is fairly new and fresh in the game, of course I'm going to do this feature with Nicki. Of course we're going to hop in the studio. Of course I'm going to level up on my career because I didn't become an artist to say the same bitch for the next 12 years, right? I want elevation. That is why I became an artist. I want my name to be out there. I want people to understand who I am. I want people to get the gist of my overall brand. And I can't do that if I'm still Tina Snow from the gas station, right? And so when we think about the fact that after she did Hot Girl Summer with Nicki, she turned around and made a whole nother banger with, Cardi that I believe did a lot better in the numbers, right? Like, WAP did a lot better. WAP had a lot more viral moments, right? There was a lot more room for that song to kind of go viral on TikTok and do a bunch of things, and people were using it and switch my wig, made me feel like I'm cheating, like that was all over the TikTok, right? And I think that what it really was that had that song flopped, Nicki would have let it slide. But because that song was everywhere, you could not get away from it. You had everybody and their mama making jokes. You had everybody and their mama making TikToks and videos and everything. On top of the fact that you felt like you bought Megan's fucking loyalty with that song that really didn't track all that well for her. You felt like, oh, and then you go over there with this bitch and you make a hit. And it made you look like you were starting to lose your Midas touch, right? Because we know that every song that Nicki is on or Nicki does a feature on usually goes triple plat before the song even finished playing, right? And this is one of those things where we saw a direct comparison where you partnered up with this same girl that Cardi partnered up with, and the songs did significantly different numbers. And I feel like that is kind of what plucked Nicki's nerve and kind of has her in a little tizzy with Megan, if we're being honest. I don't think that Megan is a clout chaser. I think that Nicki is a sore loser when it comes down to the numbers game with Cardi B. And anybody who gets in the way of that fight or that argument on some neutral shit gotta go. Nicki seems like that girl in school where it's like you don't get to be friends with your friend if your friend and I start beefing. I don't give a fuck if that's your best friend since day number one. If we are cool and I start beefing with Jennifer, I don't give a fuck how long you knew that bitch. If you still fuck with Jennifer, I don't fuck with you. Nicki is one of those girls. And I think that at your big old age, girl, you got to let that go. You've got to let those things go. At the end of the day, I'm going to do what's best for my career. And both you and Cardi are hot. Because to me, what I feel like is if you felt this way or if you feel this way about Cardi, why the fuck you didn't get off of motorsport completely? I don't feel the need to be on a song and compete with a bitch that I genuinely don't fuck with, and I don't want anybody else that I fuck with to fuck with. So if you didn't fuck with Cardi then, why the fuck did you get on Motorsport? You know why? Because it was good for your career, Onika. It was good for you because regardless of whether you like the little girl or not, she's pulling in numbers, okay? And it was a whole moment for you and the culture and for everybody to see y'all on a song together. Even if we know y'all fucking beefing, that song goes up because watch your man. Then you should watch your mouth, bitch. Like, but it comes up and it became a whole moment because Cardi is also on the song talking her shit. So don't call somebody a clout chaser for doing what they needed to do to elevate their career while you also do those things when it suits you. I don't give a fuck if y'all were in 2 different motherfucking countries when y'all shot y'all portions of that video. You were still on the song. You still reap the benefits from that song. And I think that it's unfortunate that you can't see that other people want to also take benefit from people in the game who are hot in the moment. Because if we talking about clout chasing, girl, you done been on every dick of every new girl coming since Bia. And honestly, Bia did not deserve a fucking Bia did not deserve a Nicki feature. Bia did not deserve a Nicki feature at all. I'm so sorry. It's a whole lot of money did not deserve a Nicki feature. There's a lot of girls who just didn't deserve a Nicki feature because Ice Spice would have never gotten one. I'm so sorry. She's a cute little girl. She's a tip around girl. But the fact that you gave Ice Spice a feature, it's giving side eye. It's giving why. And it's also giving, you're proving the point that you don't like to work with people who are competition to you. You don't like to work with people who are lyrically at the same pace as you. You only want to work with people who you know when you hop on the track is going to give, this is Nicki's song. I know this is Bia's song, but this is Nicki's song, right? Like, you like to work with those type of girls. You like to work with the people that you can overpower in the studio. You like to work with people that you can coach in the studio. And Megan's the hot girl coach. You're not coming on her field and telling her how to run her plays. And I think that that's another reason why ultimately you just can't take the doll, okay? And I genuinely feel like there's enough space for the both of you all. I would love to see more Nicki and Megan collaborations. But at this point, I feel like Megan is in a space in her life where, bitch, once you show her who you are the first time these days, that's it for you. That's clip. I believe that because Megan does feel like a genuinely nice girl, that Nicki can apologize and come back from it, but we know that she won't because Nicki is a genuine mean girl. So I just feel like it's unfortunate that we're never going to get another, Megan and Nicki track, at least not anytime soon. But I do believe that all of this drama and all of this stuff is Nicki's fault. And you can't get upset that people keep bringing up the fact that your husband is a sex offender, because he is, my love. He most definitely is. And when it comes down to Megan's Law, bitch, your husband got to fall under it every single motherfucking time y'all move anywhere near a high school, preschool, anytime y'all near any children, bitch, Megan's Law comes into effect. And so I'm sorry, that was a bar on top of a bar on top of a bar. But if you're in your feelings about it and you want to spill tea because this lady is fucking executives, as if you haven't fucked executives, as if half of y'all haven't done dirty, grimy, all type of shit behind the scenes, like, I don't understand how you could be so upset or about what somebody is allegedly doing, because that's how she's like shading Nicki on or shading Megan on Twitter, what somebody is allegedly doing when you've been accused of allegedly fucking a lot of people to get where you are, Nick. And you also scream girl power, girl empowerment, but you do all of these things and talk all of these negative things, like the fact that you came for Megan's height, the fact that you came for her foot size, like all of those things are things that people do to put the girls down. And also it goes back and harkens back to the idea that I believe that you might be slightly transmissive, because you know why you're saying those things. You know why you're saying those things, and you're saying those things because those are things that make her appear to social standards more masculine than you. And so you feel like you're giving cunt and she's giving the big brawly man who's damn near 6 feet tall. No, bitch, you just 5'2", girl. Like, everybody taller than you, low key. Like, it's one of those things where it's just like we've got to really be mindful about the things that people say and why they're saying them. Megan came for things that were true, factual, and can be proven. You're coming for things that are very much so social constructs and things that you go against any other day of the week when you talk about the idea of how Black women are treated in the game, and especially when you're a visibly Black. But here you go talking about a visibly Black woman, not because she actually did something to you, but because she made a song with another bitch that's popping on the charts right now. Isn't it the name of the game? Don't you connect with people who are also popping? Don't you get together with people who are also in the same lane as you to create artistry so that y'all can both blow up? Isn't that the whole reason for the Watch the Throne album? Like, Jay-Z and Kanye came together to create artistry because they are at the top of their game, and who else better to compete with than each other on the same album? We loved it. That shit was amazing. So it's just like, why is it every single time somebody shows Cardi a little bit of attention, you throw a temper tantrum like you're 14 years old? This doesn't make sense. That's my 2 cents on that. And y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. And we'll be right back after this break.
Talk to me nicely, Next to blow, little bitch, I might be. Oh, can't forget all the days they overpriced me. So now that we up,
because self-care should be luxurious. Luxe Noir.
Hey pilots, did you know that you can now catch the electrifying sounds of Bullet in Flight Radio anywhere you go? Yes, you heard it right. Tune in to the high-flying beats and soaring melodies by downloading the TuneIn app on your mobile device. Just search for Bullet in Flight Radio and hit play. It's that easy. And if you have a smart device like Alexa or Google, just say, "Hey Google" or "Alexa, play Bullet in Flight Radio on TuneIn." Experience the rush of adrenaline wherever you are. Listen to Bullet in Flight Radio on TuneIn using your Alexa or Google devices. Soaring through the skies has never sounded this good. Don't miss out on the ultimate musical journey. Tune in now to Bullet in Flight Radio on TuneIn and let the music take you on an unforgettable ride. Get ready to elevate your listening experience. Brought to you by Bullet in Flight Radio.
I noticed they heated, we getting icy. Whoa, can't forget all the moments they overpriced me. So now that we up, don't get it.
Hey, everybody. It is I, Giselle, and I am back with another episode of I Have Thoughts. If you missed the first half of the show, I talked a little bit about Megan's new single, His, as well as the beef that she has going on with Miss Onika Mirage, also aka Miss Nicki Minaj. And if you want my thoughts, you got to go back and watch that once the playback is done. I assure you, you're going to want to hear the nuance to that. But beyond that, I have a new segment that I want to introduce to you all, and it is called Black Woman Chronicles, okay? This is where we're going to detail a couple of different things that are going on in the media as it pertains to Black women, and y'all know that there's always some shit going on as it pertains to us in media, and I'm just going to run a couple of clips for y'all. The first one is one that I think that not many of us can relate to, but I want to hear y'all thoughts about it, and I'm going to give y'all mine. So bear with me.
Dumbass. You got me in a car looking like a fucking dummy.
I was trying to do a con gesture.
No, kind gesture my ass. I don't give a fuck if that's your baby mama. She could take the bus. I don't care if she could take the train. I don't give a fuck. Let her ass walk. She got a whole nother nigga over here worrying about this shit, picking this damn guy. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Why the fuck is that? Why am I even in this situation? You should have told me you was picking her ass up. No, I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that shit though. You should hear that he still be picking me up without. Look, I ain't got time for that bullshit. You can walk your ass to wherever the fuck you gotta go. Walk your ass wherever the fuck you gotta go. He ain't gotta give you a ride. I bet his ass ain't gonna give your ass another ride. Bet you the fuck he won't. Bye. Why'd you still here though? Why'd you still here? Bye. Fuck.
Now, let me tell y'all something. There's a lot to unpack in that video, okay? But before I even get into the ladies, right, in this video, I don't know if y'all could hear him in the background, but that would have been the last motherfucking car ride I had ever taken with him to anywhere. Drop me off at my house because I doubt that they're living together. And I'll see you never. Because if y'all listen very closely, he's very much so still fucking a baby mama. And I'm not talking about like, oh, they're doing a co-parenting situation. He's fucking that girl. Because as she's going in and making her point very clear about what he not gonna do, why this ain't whatever, he's still, all right, bye baby mama, we gonna leave, like I'ma holla at you. You gotta listen to him in the background. Like you gotta really listen to what he's saying in the conversation that he's having with the baby mama as this young girl who he is actually dating in the moment is going off and clearly, honestly, having a little bit more self-restraint than I would have. Because to be perfectly honest, I wouldn't be mad at the baby mama unless she came up out of the bag, which it seems like she did. My focus would have been more so on him and why you ambushed me in this moment, right? So when I'm going through a lot of the comments, a lot of the men are saying, but that's the mother of his children. Like, you have to understand she's not going anywhere. And fellas, we don't not understand that the mother of your children ain't going nowhere. We don't understand. I mean, we don't not understand that she's going to be around for life because you have a life in between the two of you. So unless, unfortunately, that child dissipates or those children dissipate by way of, some sort of untimely death, you got to deal with this bitch, right? And I don't think that there's any woman out there who is choosing to deal with a man who has children that does not understand the ideation behind baby mamas, right? But it's about the baby mama drama. And y'all know that. And it's the gaslighting that fucks with me with a lot of you men, because it's like, you put her in a fucked up situation. And what was so interesting to me was that was the only time that there was a slight pause in everybody's bullshit, right? When that girl said, why am I even in this situation? Even the baby mama had to shut the fuck up. Because why is she in this situation? If you knew you were coming to pick this girl up, it doesn't even seem like she has a problem with him picking the girl up. She's just asking, why was there not a heads up? Why did you pull up on this girl and not tell me that you're going to pull up on this girl? Because obviously they might not be the worst of enemies, but they're clearly not the best of friends. These two girls seem like they play everything very cordial because of you. They play everything very cordial because of the kids and all of those things. But this felt like she felt like her space was being invaded because one, you did not tell her that you were going to go pick this bitch up. And number two, I think what it sounds like to me is that baby mama got a little hood rat spirit. So when she got to the car, she knew that the girlfriend was going to be in the car. The girlfriend didn't know that she was going to be picked up. And that's a whole nother problem, which also tells me they still fucking. Because you don't have that much power over me when I have a girlfriend for you to hop your motherfucking ass in this car and say anything disrespectful to her if I have to go out of my way to make sure you get somewhere so that my kids can be taken care of by you getting to your destination. So if I'm going to do this, number one, I'm going to tell my girl that this has to be done and why it has to be done during this time. And then also, when you get your ass in this car, you're going to speak and then you're going to shut the fuck up. Okay, you are going to speak to everybody in this car, and then you're going to shut the fuck up if you don't have anything nice to say, if you're not talking about the general weather, if you're not trying to give us a little bit of a rundown so you can create small talk that's not going to turn into an argument. Bitch, don't say nothing to this girl because this is who I'm with now, and she's not going anywhere. And my thing is, when a man genuinely loves a woman, you can tell by his behavior. His behavior does not say, I love this bitch. His behavior actually says, I want to be with my baby mama, and you are a placeholder till I get right and figure out how to make this shit work. Because the way that they're talking to each other, even as she's arguing, she's low-key not even really talking to you, sis. She's talking to him, and he ain't even paying you no attention. He's talking to her. Let it go. But I say that this is part of Black Women Chronicles because these are the things that Black women put up with. And yes, y'all. She's one of those light-skinned, racially ambiguous, good hair ass bitches. I understand that, but she's still Black. And this happens to Black girls of all different denominations, all different creeds, and all different expressions and backgrounds. It just happens to us. And if you listen, this is a nigga. And once again, you have Black men being the weakest link on topics like this because this could have all been avoided if you would have, one, expressed what was going on to your current girlfriend, and two, got control over your baby mama because she should have never felt safe to disrespect that girl when you were doing a favor for her that had nothing to do with this young lady, and she was unaware of the favor that was going to be done in the first place. At the very motherfucking least, there should have been a very awkward car ride, but there should not have been a back and forth between these two. And also for your baby mama to be dishing the tea that you also pick her up and drop her off when this girl is not with you says a lot. And I think that if a lot of you fellas understood the premise of not wasting a bitch's time, right? Because this is exactly what this is. You're wasting this girl's time when you know that your objective is to get back with this bitch. You want to be back with this baby mama. Y'all both enjoy the drama. Y'all both enjoy riling other girls and other men probably up. And then y'all go and fuck each other on a sneak slide while pretending that you can't stand each other when you're with other people. And that shit is trifling. And I really feel like at the end of the day, you're leading this young lady on. Now she's on the internet, pissed off, looking crazy, looking stupid, arguing with your dumb ass about something that could have been resolved had you just been communicative in a way that was not disrespectful. You don't get to pull up on your baby mama and then tell me what the fuck is going on. I should have known that the second that I got in the car, or the second that you knew that you were going to take on the responsibility of making sure that this girl got wherever the fuck she was going. And I think that when it comes down to it, a lot of Black men want to talk about how Black women are not soft and how Black women are so hard and how Black women need this and need that and other races of women don't need X, Y, and Z. But y'all are not out here communicating the way that Tom, Dick, Harry, and Joseph, right, are communicating. Y'all are not out here communicating the way that Freddie Nadu and all of his, his Indian brothers are communicating. Y'all are not out here communicating the way that Jose Suave and them are communicating with their women. And my thing is, let's be very clear. I'm not saying that all of these men are the model versions of communication. But what I am saying is that white men tend to just say that shit. And the white women just tend to deal with it. Same with all these other races. Even when you have African men who are from Africa, they say what the fuck it is, and their women either decide to stick with it or not. It's only you African American black motherfuckers that want to bend the rules and then get upset when a bitch get upset with you for bending the rules. It does not make sense. Either be all the way in it, be all the way 100 about what the fuck you got going on, or leave bitches the fuck alone. Which brings me to the next point. When men are putting people in situations that force us to have to be tough and all of these different things, they say things like, oh, black women are so X, Y, and Z. Other races of women are not like this. But I want y'all to take a look at this clip, and I want y'all to watch the progression of this conversation between two people who are supposed to be high-earning black folks in, the corporate space or whatever the case may be. They are on a date for the first time in a show that is supposed to pair people who are compatible based off of their income or whatever the case may be, so that you don't run up against the idea that she makes more than him, he makes more than her. And so it takes that part of the conversation out and really gives you an opportunity to just get to know the person. Look at this and let me know what y'all think.
Lamar, you got children?
Nope.
Okay.
Next.
Have you ever been married?
Yep, twice.
Okay.
Next.
How long ago?
2016.
Have you dated anybody since then? Like, seriously
Of course.
dated?
Yes.
So how long were you there?
Why does that matter?
Because I asked.
And who are you?
April Michelle Butler.
And what's that mean to me?
Because I asked a question.
Why are you asking how long? Does it matter?
He immediately got on the defense, which is a red flag for me. Are you hiding something? What's the issue with answering my questions if those things are important to me?
So are you saying you just don't want to answer?
Let's move forward. I don't care about what you've done. I don't care about your degrees. I don't care about none of that. Because she's not finna sit down with nobody, man. She finna try to muscle somebody, put them in the headlock. No man wants to be in no headlock.
I asked you a question about how long was your last relationship, and you absolutely refused to answer me. You should be transparent.
First of all, from the time that he said next, after my first question, I would have politely excused myself from the table. And I think that this is a thing that black women in power and black women with money don't get enough respect for doing, right? A lot of black women in power and a lot of black women with money don't flaunt that shit. We're not walking around going, oh, I got this degree, I got that degree, I got da-da-da-da-da, X, Y, and Z. Those are things that make you feel insecure because the way that you make your money, even though we probably have the same tax bracket, is not the same. You don't feel as accomplished as this woman. And so therefore, you don't feel like she has the right to ask you any questions because you're afraid that any answer that you might divulge will make you look like a less than person. And quite frankly, you are. You snitched on yourself by simply answering the questions the way that you did. All of that next bullshit, it's giving bad bitch energy. And I'm never one to do the whole gender role, sassy man apocalypse bullshit. But what I do say, and what I can say in this particular instance, is that I am sick and tired of men trying to beat bitches at being bitches. Right? Like, don't ever think you gonna out bitch me because I'm bitch number one. Like, you don't get to come up in this space and feel like with your whole dick, testosterone pumping through your body and a full Rick Ross beard that you gonna out bitch me, my nigga. Like, that's just not how this works. And a lot of these guys don't understand that when you come at the situation like this, how else is she supposed to respond? How else is she supposed to, posture herself? Because now her posture completely went from I am just asking questions to I need to be on the defense because it seems like he's about to come for me. And I don't think that men understand that when y'all are just trying to do the I'm getting through this date bullshit because I'm so over the first date with all of these dumbass questions. All we see is your body language. It makes us feel like you're not interested. And then I don't want to be interested. Because if you're not interested in me and I'm not interested in you, then why the fuck are we sitting here? Nobody has the strength to get up, but everybody wants to sit there and go back and forth. What I want to tell a lot of you women is that instead of going back and forth with these niggas, at the first sign of a red flag, get your shit, pay for your cocktail, and leave. And be very mindful that I said, get your shit, pay for your cocktail, and leave. And don't make a scene about it. I'm not saying have your bad bitch moment and do your big one. Sometimes it's as simple as going to the restroom. And paying for your drink with your server at the bar, somewhere away from him, and dipping out. And letting the server know to take your drink off of the check so that he knows that you did not try to play him. Because what I'm not about to do is go back and forth with a grown-ass man about your history when y'all are the same motherfuckers having podcast after podcast after podcast episode about body count. So if I can't ask you about how long your last relationship was, but you can ask me about how many niggas I fucked before you, there's a problem with that. And he's definitely one of them niggas that if she said she had fucked 40 niggas before him, he would have a problem. So why can't you answer her simple question about how long your last relationship was? She didn't say how many you've had. She didn't ask you how many bodies you've had in the past. You had been married twice, and she didn't even ask you why you were married 2 times before this particular date. All she asked you was how long ago was your last relationship and how long did it last? And I think that those are questions that we need to be asking anybody that we're taking time to seriously get to know, because are you a serial dater or are you somebody who is looking for true connection? Because if you're somebody who is a serial dater and your dating relationship only lasts about 2 weeks to about 4 months, I don't want to be in that with you if I'm seeking to get a ring on my finger, or if I'm seeking for something long term, or if I'm seeking something that's like more intimate or whatever the case may be. And a lot of these men don't understand that. His posture in general showed that he was uninterested in the date. I don't necessarily think that he found her to be the most attractive woman. And quite frankly, I don't think that he's the most attractive men. I think that they're both pretty much mid as far as the looks go. But that still doesn't mean that respect wasn't due in this particular case. I think that she was trying to be respectful until he clearly got a little out of pocket. And this is one of those things that we don't often get a chance to see working in real time. A lot of these men will get on these podcasts, get on these shows, hop in these comments and say things like this, but only tell a little piece of the story. What you didn't tell was that as she was asking you very basic questions, you were not really answering, you were not really engaged in what she was saying, and you had a very weird ass disposition and demeanor from the jumpity jump of that booty. So when I think about the idea that a lot of you all sit back and talk about how Black women are hard and they don't let you feel and they don't let you think and you can't do this and you can't say that and the dates are weird and they do X, Y, and Z and they're asking you all these questions, if these are the questions that Black women are asking that you don't want to answer on a first date, then I think that you probably shouldn't be dating. You should probably be paying, right? You should probably be paying. Like, why are we not paying escorts if we don't want to have conversations? Why are we not paying sex workers if we don't want to engage with people, but we just want to have sex? Why spend your time taking somebody out to dinner, getting all dressed up, putting on your smell goods, possibly spending up to $300 or $400, and then being upset because you don't get no pussy when that's all you came for in the first place? You didn't want to be asked questions. You didn't care to get to know about her family. You didn't give a shit about the fact that she got a little dog named Tito at home. You picked her because you swipe right on Tinder or you swipe right on X, Y, and Z. Not in this particular case, obviously. But in most cases, you picked this bitch because you thought she was fine and you wanted to fuck. And my thing is, there's enough young women out here in the world, enough young people out here in the world who are engaging and indulging in sex work that you can pay to skip all the small talk you want and jump straight into that ass. But the problem is, you niggas complain about a $300 date, but y'all don't want to pay that $1,000 tax after an hour of somebody's time. So what it really is that y'all are broke either way. When you got it, you got it. When you don't, you don't. And when you got it, you don't complain about the small stuff, especially something as simple as somebody asking you questions to get to know you and establish a connection on a first date. Whether it was a television show or not, I'm sure that this nigga acts like this on all first dates, unless the young lady is given very much so, I want to suck your dick under the table. And if that's what you were looking for, you should have paid for it and not the date and not to be on this television show to waste this young woman's time when it doesn't seem like she was doing anything more than asking establishing questions to make sure that this was worth her time and worth yours. But I digress. So here are my final thoughts. Y'all, when it comes down to the idea of what we do and how we feel and the things that we think people need to know, I think that we ultimately have to decide for ourselves the way that we want to be treated. I think that from Megan Thee Stallion all the way down to the young ladies in our, women's circle moment, we see people deciding how they want to be treated. Megan has finally stood up for herself and decided that y'all are not going to keep fucking bullying me. Y'all are not going to keep making me the problem when you all are coming after me constantly. And I've done everything I can to not really respond in a way that's going to be seen or perceived as disrespectful. And y'all keep coming for me. The young woman who was in the car decided how she wanted to be treated when she stayed in that car, even after that young man made it very clear that he did not respect her, her time, her mind, her energy, or their relationship. The young woman at the table decided that she was okay with being treated some type of way because the first time that he would have said next I would have been done. But these are all things that we agree to, whether they be silently, overtly, or subserviertly, or unconsciously. As Black women, we've got to learn to take our power back from people, whether they be in platonic friendships or romantic relationships, or people who are just trying to get to know us. We've got to decide how we are okay with being treated certain ways. And if something doesn't sit right with you, you don't have to sit in it. If I learn nothing else from the idea of stepping into my womanhood and owning that shit for myself, it's that I don't have to allow you the time, the space, or the energy to make me feel disrespected, unloved, or uncared about. And I'm never going to give you the opportunity to make me feel like a tertiary character in my very much so main character story. And so, if you do nothing else out here in the world, ladies, yes, this episode is for you and anybody else who can relate to it. Know this. Choose yourself. And then everybody else is important after you. With that being said, y'all, have the day that y'all deserve. I love you so much, and I will see y'all around. Bye, everybody.
Talk to me nicely. I noticed they heated, we getting icy. Whoa, can't forget all the moments they overpriced me. So now that we up, don't good advice me, no.
Thank you for watching Pyro Media Network. For more information, please visit pyromedianetwork.com.